Yo, 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 what's that word? Third 12 in podcast, episode 39. Of course, got the familiar guest here, and that could be changing soon, and Byron and Khalil. Um, fun night, fun week. This gonna be a real interesting one. I like some of the topics that we're gonna talk about tonight. Um, without further ado, I didn't want it to go by the order I wrote down. The first thing I actually wanted to talk about with y'all boys was the NFL playoffs that currently happen this over this weekend, and we're recording this on 21st. So, how do y'all feel? What y'all thoughts on some of the games?
Well, you want to go first, Byron, or if you want?
You can go ahead and go first, bro.
So, I mean, it's the playoffs, so I expected almost every game to be competitive, which for the most part it was, besides the Cowboys and the Eagles games from last week.
Cowboys 40 Packers.
Cowboys Packers.
Cowboys Packers was a big surprise. I know Cowboys usually choke during the playoffs. I just didn't expect it to happen to that extent. But right now the Ravens are looking like the team to beat. They look like they're just levels ahead of any other team in the playing field right now. Especially Lamar's been playing at the level that he's playing at. Their defense just been locked down all year. And you've seen it with when they played the Texans yesterday. CJ Stroud just came off a beautiful rookie first playoff game, and they completely, if you ask me, they just completely shut down that offense.
Yeah, man, this playoffs has been really good this year. Just the season itself, it's like the backup quarterback year, so we ain't got a lot of the faces that we would think we would see in the playoffs this year. Joe Burrow and all those other guys. Justin Herbert, he's been disappointing, but it's been really good. CJ Stroud has showed a lot. He definitely proved me wrong. I thought he was going to be garbage, but he's actually really good quarterback. One of the best quarterback out of that little draft that they just had. CJ Stroud's been playing good. Unfortunately, they lost, but I think Lamar is gonna just take it all this year. MVP, had a really great season, improved on his throwing. Just going, I think they're gonna win the championship for sure. And a lot of those other good teams, like I said, Dallas always let us down for sure. Parsons did not do anything, especially with his contract coming up. Hopefully, they get that situated out. But yeah, man, it's been a really good playoffs this year.
I think over the past 2 years, I felt the full sense of my team not being good. So I felt like I lost a little bit of love for the NFL. So coming back and watching like some games this year and watching these playoffs has actually like turned up the love and intensity I had for the game again. And in saying that, some of the games, of course, impressed with CJ Stroud. I didn't think much of this quarterback draft coming in, to be honest. I always thought this year coming up was going to be like have better quarterbacks, and that might still be true. But CJ Stroud has proven himself to be one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. Very reminiscent to when Herbert came into the league and he was dominating off the rip. And they look good. I think they were well coached, and I like their progression, what they're going to do this offseason. The Packers were the surprise team for me because even though they had a decent supporting cast around Aaron Rodgers, it really showed that Jordan Love has elevated the rest of the guys around him to play to a near elite level. I was very impressed with Romeo Doubs, wide receiver, number 87 for the Packers. Did not expect them to shut down the Cowboys like that, but silly me believing in the Cowboys when they've shown us who they are. I know the Cowboys every offseason, they have to pay a lot of guys. I expect that to get done. They got bread, Jerry Jones, the most powerful man in the league.
9.5, 9.8, one of them.
And who else is? Oh, impressed by the Bucks. Shout out to the Bucks, man. We in Florida with it, but shout out to the Bucks for making it as far as they can. I know my uncle is very happy about that, being a Bucks fan. The Lions making it to the NFC Championship game, and I actually can see them pulling the upset against the 49ers to make it to the Super Bowl, which is the Lions in the Super Bowl. Hey, that's crazy. That'll be real crazy. It'll be real crazy if it's like Ravens versus 49ers. That'll be real crazy, extremely black and hood, and I love something like that, honestly. They got to get the cast from the Wire to be up there with Usher when he perform at the halftime show. By the way, Usher performing at the halftime show was fine, but
for sure.
oh yeah, I know how that boy.
You already know.
But yeah, been a good weekend in NFL. We didn't catch it, but I'm assuming the Chiefs won this game right here against the Bills, so it's gonna be Lamar and the Chiefs.
Yeah, let me check. I can check real quick.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna be Lamar versus the Chiefs, and then
game.
Yep,
like
Chiefs
I said,
Chiefs won 27-24.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be the Lions versus the 49ers. So we're gonna see how that play out. But yeah, it's been a great playoff. A lot of competitive games. The next thing I want about was I got all my other stuff read. Oh, we can talk about the retirement of Nick Saban. How do y'all feel about the GOAT retiring?
Sheesh. Me as a USC fan, I'm definitely happy he retired, man. But he was a very integral part of the NCAA, man. He took what LSU to state championships, and then national championships, then turned around and turned another program, Alabama, what I call the mini NFL. Literally, you go there and you just perform. You some way somehow you gonna make it to the league. They just have great coaching. He put great coaching in his facilities. They have a great facility. They got a lot of money, billions of dollars. I mean, this man has won almost over 300 games. Didn't even lose 100 games, or like 71 losses. It's ridiculous. What, like 7 championships? 6, 7 championships?
Yeah, something like that. So I think 6 or 7.
It's ridiculous. Like that his Nick Saban in the Alabama was my childhood. Like if I saw college football in my childhood day, like as I got older, it got a little different. But my kid, I saw one team, Alabama. Like and you saw Alabama, you saw Nick Saban. So, but hats off to him, great career. Hopefully he finds something, to do after this, just to keep, things going.
So yeah, like I said, I don't know if there was speculation that he was going to retire. I don't know if it happened abruptly, but I didn't say anything about it, so it kind of surprised me when I just woke up to the ESPN alert that he was retiring. But like Byron said, like what he did for that program is pretty amazing, especially, probably I think most football players growing up, when they think of making it into college football, Alabama's probably like the top of their list of where they want to go to. You pretty much can't think of NCAA without thinking of Alabama and Nick Saban, in my opinion. And just like I said, he made Alabama somewhere that you go to get drafted, you go to the NFL, you go on to do big things. So like I said, he had a great career, made a big impact on a lot of people. But we'll see what happens from now.
I feel like Nick Saban retiring is such a big thing because it just reminds me that getting old sucks. I have to imagine like it's like when people older than us saw like Jordan retire or saw well, Tiger Woods still playing, but like when he was still in the glory days, like Tiger Woods or like things of that nature. It's been a lot of turnover in the coaching industry. Like Pete Carroll got reassigned and Bill Belichick got let go as well.
Never thought
So
I'd see.
keeping it about Nick Saban, what else can you say? Six or seven championships, countless SEC titles, probably 12 or 13 since he's been there. Like y'all was saying, NFL Factory. I actually saw a key stat that if you went there for 4 years, you had a minimum of one national championship since he's been there, which is
That's
incredible because
crazy. That's
most
crazy.
programs, most programs, they never win a national championship. I mean, think about the last time Miami won a national championship. Uh, um,
We were just being born.
yeah, but yeah. Anyways, a little bit of the fallout though, I wanted to highlight on since Nick Saban retired, the GOAT Nick Saban retired, 28 players have transferred from Alabama or entered the transfer portal. Not all of them have found homes yet. With the most notable ones being Caleb Downs, who went to Ohio State for a reported $2 million. Caden Proctor transfer home to Iowa, and let me see, and Julian Sayin. So the interesting thing about those last two players, Caden Proctor, he made a comment that Iowa reached out to him when he was struggling during the season, tampering. But we know it happens all the time on every level of every industry. And then Julian saying it was kind of strange to me, him being the number one quarterback in the country, that Kalen DeBoer, the new coach for the Crimson Tide, wouldn't want the number one quarterback. I understand he's trying to bring in his own players, but that was a bit of a head scratcher. And hopefully, for our sake, he grows to regret that decision because much respect to Nick Saban, but I'm glad that is, in my opinion, it's going to be some parity. I mean, it already is. Michigan is a national championship. I didn't know if I was ever going to see that. Michigan being a national championship, anything outside of the SEC, I was kind of get worried that we'd never see a national championship outside of the SEC again. So I'm happy about that at least. Um, Two things I wanted to highlight about why I think it's a great time for Nick Saban to retire, and why I think he ultimately chose it. Besides, get well. God bless the help of his wife. Um, was the NIL now, and also the current unlimited transfer rules in college football. Of course, we know name, image, likeness, NIL. Um, a lot of players been reported were going to Alabama because Nick Saban, because of the discount. You guaranteed to go to the NFL. So now Alabama has had to get its house in order. All these players are entering the transfer portal because they came there to play for Nick. If he's not there no more, I can understand now their focus has shifted to, hey, I'm trying to get paid what I feel like my value is. Um, and I feel like that's going to add parity to the game. And I even say, watch out for school like Texas and Oregon, who got billionaires supporting them. Texas A&M is another one, and we're going to see how that in Miami too. But we know they're not good, and they got bad coaching. Anyway, and then the unlimited transfers. To me, that was the craziest thing that people haven't highlighted. It's kind of in the beta phase, but right now players can transfer any year. So it's like they can get signed to these NIL deals or just a scholarship, and then they can transfer right after that. So I find that kind of crazy. It's the wild, wild west. I'm wondering how much coaches even care about recruiting the high school ranks if you're going to get a 5-star guy and then literally the next season, if he don't play that much or he's homesick or he's got these handlers in his ear saying, hey, I can get you this amount of money from this other school, what's stopping them from jumping right in the portal? So that's crazy to me. Hopefully they can get that corrected. I think now again, we're getting old, and to me, the word commitment means something. When you say you're committed to a school, I honestly don't understand why these kids commit and then still go on visits. It doesn't make sense to me at all. You might as well just wait to sign. But I
Mhm.
get if you're trying to hold your spot, and I'm not in their position, so maybe there's a part of it I don't understand, but I think there needs to be regulation, and I'm not sure I can trust in the NCAA to make those changes because forever it seems like they haven't had control under any of this football stuff. So yeah, I know that was long-winded, and I'm glad we got to discuss Nick Saban. Like Byron said, I hope he enjoy his retirement and find something else to do with his life, play golf, enjoy time
Go
with his
fish.
family. Yeah, go on vacation, go fishing. And yeah, that was long-winded, but yeah, shout out Nick Saban. So now the next I want to talk to y'all about, and we'll do it like this. We'll go like each of us will discuss one trade and we'll go around till we get all three of ours out, if that makes sense to y'all, bro.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So because I've been the chatterbox, I'll let you go first, Byron, and hit yours up. Oh, these are gonna be NBA trades too that, could maybe shake up the league a little bit or just interesting trades.
I actually just that trade that just happened like a day ago or 2 days ago, that Pascal Siakam trade. That's gonna be something pretty big. I mean, a lot of people are downplaying it, saying, they all young, but nowadays this like youth is outbeating, that what did it say? Youth over
The veterans
experience.
experience, yeah.
Yeah, that the youth is kind of coming up there with that experience, man, and it's not really changing it so much because that skill gap is definitely not where it was before. Like a lot of the players are getting way better. Tyrese Halliburton is a really good point guard, and what that Siakam trade did for him, they kind of can play off of each other. Siakam runs the floor really well. He's getting better at shooting. He plays really good defense. He plays really, really hard. I would say if he has a little bit more weight onto him, he will be a problem. But I really like that Siakam trade for Indiana. I mean, I think the Raptors got a pretty good haul back from that as well. Some future picks as well. So with them, I think it's on both sides. And I see what the Raptors are doing. They're trying to, uh, change their culture while still competing. And I don't know how far they're going to be competing with what they got, but they definitely got something for the future for sure.
My first trade I'll talk about is a trade that happened, Knicks and Raptors. First I want to say the Raptors have been making some pretty good moves for the future of
Yeah.
their team. Um, and I just feel like with that trade, I feel like it was an even trade. With the sample size that we've gotten so far. You can see what OG Anunoby does for the Knicks on the court. You can see he's doing them little things, picking up the slack for Julius Randle on the defensive end. And then as far as what the Raptors are getting from RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly, that's crazy the level that they're playing at compared to how they were having to be contained and kind of be wing players, shoot threes, and just kind of get their points for here and there. RJ Barrett, I feel like with the Raptors can kind of come into his own with Scotty Barnes. Um, so I feel like that's probably one of the best trades I've seen for both teams in a while watching the NBA.
My first trade I want to talk about is and I did all mine through like the NBA trade machine to make sure like these would actually be like realistic. Um
Okay.
was the Bulls trade DeMar DeRozan, who has 1 year, 29 million, and Alex Caruso, who has 2 years and 10 million each year, to the Lakers for D'Lo, Austin Reeves, and Jalen Hood Shafino, a first round pick, in a pick swap in 2027. First round pick in 2029. I did that. I like this trade for both sides because obviously the Lakers need scoring desperately. That's become incredibly obvious. And I love DeMar as a playmaker, really developed there with the Spurs, and he's kept that up with the Chicago Bulls, especially with all the time that Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine has missed. Then Caruso was just a perfect fit for the Lakers. They should have never let him go. Excellent role player, know how to play with LeBron. I actually think that's probably LeBron's favorite role player in the league right now. And need to get that boy back. I respect Caruso. It sucks to give up Austin Reeves in that first round pick, but because LeBron gonna be retired by 2029 if we're being real.
Yeah.
But Austin Reeves, I think the Lakers might be overvaluing him. I respect Austin Reeves, but I think last year he was a little bit better when he was a little bit more of a more people didn't know about him. Now when you have game plans focused on you coming off the bench and you're being targeted more on defense, I think it makes it more difficult for him to do the things that he was doing last year. And then, D'Lo is kind of inconsistent. And I had Jalen Hood Sabino. So it's actually like giving the Bulls 2 first-round picks because I feel like the Bulls need to get off that mediocrity purgatory. Like, are we going to compete? Are we not going to compete treadmill? So you're giving them a recent first-round pick, and you're also giving them a future first-round pick and a pick swap when, again, LeBron probably going to play, I hate to say this, but at most 3 more years. So I feel he could probably play like 5, but we'll see how that plays out. But getting that pick swap for 2027, just to make sure if he is retired by then, I don't expect the Lakers to be that good. I mean, they're not that good now, and he's there. So, yeah, that's my first trade.
I like how you ain't put Hachimura in that because they should definitely keep him if they were to make a trade like that because he plays really great defense. He's getting better at shooting. But he has that different kind of confidence than the other players that you put in the trade. Like you said, D'Lo is up and down. But Hachimura, he's like, all right, I'm getting in. I know what my job is to shoot that thing. Like he ain't coming back.
Really, the Lakers maybe need to look at the coaching change, but I ain't gonna.
Oh yeah, Darvin Ham might be out of there too.
Darvin Ham trash.
Yeah, he might be out of there though. He might be
because the rotations is crazy, but it is what it is.
It's never the same.
Nah,
nope. Can't get no chemistry.
Nah. Who you have for your second trade, Byron?
My second trade. Actually, you can go see this time.
All right.
For this one.
Second trade that I would probably suggest or I think could happen is the DeJounte Murray to the Lakers. I see things aren't going too well in Atlanta. I feel like the Lakers could use another consistent scorer to kind of help pick up or not have to rely on Anthony Davis and LeBron to kind of score so much. Like you said, Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell are just too inconsistent for me. And like you said, I feel like if the Lakers can either unload D'Angelo Russell or Austin Reeves, it just works out better for them. Anytime I've seen DeJounte Murray playing without Trae Young, I feel like it improves his game. And like I said, I just feel like that'll take a load off of LeBron and AD as far as how teams guard them as well.
I can go second, Byron. Mine is long and complicated. I'm gonna make it quick as possible. Okay. So the second trade was between the Warriors and Orlando Magic. I had Gary Payton II, Kevon Looney, and Jonathan Kuminga, and a 2028 second-round pick going to the Warriors. For the Warriors sending back Jonathan Isaac, Chet Howard, a 2024 first-round pick, and a 2029 second-round pick. I think it works out because Orlando, you're getting some veteran pieces in Gary Payton, Looney, and Jonathan Kuminga, who said that he lost faith in Steve Kerr to like lead him into being a better player, which is crazy considering his track record. I digress. But I can understand if you're not playing, how that could upset you when you're trying to get the bag. People don't people don't, I think, want to take into account that yes, these players are entertaining us, but at the same time, they're trying to change their families' lives. And if you're not getting minutes, you can't develop into the player that you have. And being a former number 6 overall pick, I understand why he would be frustrated that he's not playing over players who are just not having good seasons. I mean, Clay and Wiggs is not having good seasons at all. And then so I think he could really flourish on the Magic with more shots, especially with him, Paulo, and Franz Wagner all there, being the three main heads of that snake. I like how that develops on the offensive and defensive end as far as what they're trying to do on the wings. And then for the Warriors, they get Jonathan Isaac, which I feel like they need another player in that front court besides Draymond. And he's great on defense when he's healthy. Chet Howard, son of Jawan Howard, a great shooter, can be a really good replacement for Klay Thompson, who I don't know if they're going to re-sign this summer. But he's a great shooter, can be a replacement there, give more time for Moses Moody. They're going to have to give up some first-round picks, but I assume that the Warriors are going to still try to compete until that big three ultimately retires, specifically Steph Curry. So that was my pick between the Magic and Warriors, and I think it could set both of them up nicely for the future.
Okay. Nah, I like that for sure, for sure. It helped out both teams. My last one, it's a small trade, but it'll definitely could help the Lakers in the short term. I'm not too sure exactly because with what the Raptors will do with Bruce Brown. But because with all the acquisitions that they made just recently, I'm not even sure if they will just end up paying him out and cutting him. But I mean, he is a high trade value. A couple teams do want him. So I wouldn't say they would just get rid of him. I would say actually try to get something for him.
Yeah.
I would say him to the Lakers. I'm not too sure what kind of package they would be able to send for him.
Bag of chips. We'll give you a bag of chips and some lollipops.
Hey,
no, I'm just playing. Shout out Bruce
that's all they
Brown.
got
We
in their
need you, bro.
pockets
It's
right
been
now.
tough.
That's all they got in their pockets right now. Shoot. I think they tried to cherry Clay one time for a toaster. I don't know. But yeah, him on that team will bring the much needed defense that they don't have. Because it's like teams just run up and down the court and they're just trying to outscore them. And that's not the kind of game that LeBron and AD need to be playing at all. But that Bruce Brown, if they were to get Bruce Brown, he's a really good spot up open shooter. He's gonna like bring that intensity, that dog that they need to when things are down. He can help bring that intensity back like he did for Denver when they won the championship. Um, he's not really a high volume like guy that needs the ball in his hands, so that'll be great for LeBron. If they weren't to trade Austin Reeves, it'll be good for him. He can have the ball in his hands. Just have those playmakers with the ball in their hand, man, and actually playing hard defense because like that's where everything starts. If you're not playing good defense, no matter how many shots you put up, and the other team's putting the ball in the hole more than you, you're not gonna win.
You go ahead.
One more trade apiece.
Yeah.
All right.
One more.
All right. Next trade I was gonna do was involving Bruce Brown as well. I feel like he's like a highly sought out trade piece for most teams. If the Knicks could somehow trade for him, I would think that worked pretty good. Just because I know they have been shopping around Quentin Grimes. So for some way they'd be able to ship off Quentin Grimes to the Raptors, who I know are trying to get young and build something with a young core, and we get Bruce Brown back, like Byron said. He's one of the best swingman available right now. His defense pretty much speaks for itself. He doesn't need the ball in his hands to do much to make a big impact on the game, like Byron said. And from what it looks like, the Knicks are sold on keeping Julius Randle and Tom Thibodeau around. So defensively, I feel like we need all the help that we can get. And I feel like with how Tom Thibodeau runs things on defense, there's really nothing that Bruce Brown wouldn't be able to do to help get the Knicks up a couple notches.
Yeah, one thing, Tom Thibodeau gonna run you into the ground.
Facts.
Them boys playing 40 minutes.
Yeah, all of them. All the
For real.
stars. I'll go this one real quick. You know what I'm saying? It's like similar to those same guys that you had in that Lakers trade, D'Lo, Jalen, and that first round pick. I'm not too sure. I think they probably have to add something else to this. Probably put in Austin Reeves as well. But I think they should try to like trade for DeJounte Murray. That would for the Lakers. If they could do that, they could pull that off. Oh man, that's like having like a version of Ja on your team. That guy is fast. I mean, he's not a really good defender. He's getting better over these years, these last couple of years that he's been playing. But I mean, now that he's been with the Hawks, he's kind of not really been caring about defense at all. Because he is the man there. I mean, even Trey isn't the man, and that was his team. But that DeJounte Murray, if they could somehow, some way pull that trade off and get him, LeBron, and AD all together, that'd be great for AD as well to run the floor up and down, get those easy buckets in transition, and just have somebody else having the ball in their hand besides LeBron.
Yeah, real quick. Hopefully it doesn't cut off while I'm saying this, but my final trade was between Brooklyn and the Sacramento Kings. I think the Kings are that sleeping giant out west. They got everything they need, but I think they could use a little bit of help on the wings. I do like, I'm going to mess up his name, but his last name is Murray, player that was last year in the draft, got picked number 4. He's really good. I think he has a high ceiling, but the trade that I think would help him out most would be Brooklyn sending Dorian Finley-Smith and a 2028 second-round pick, and the Kings sending back Kevin Huerter, Chris Duarte, and first-round pick this year. I know the asking price has been 2 first-round picks for Dorian Finley-Smith. Chris Duarte got picked a couple drafts ago in the first round, I think 14th overall. And Kevin Huerter's a nice knockdown shooter, nice young player. So I think they could compensate for not getting that second first-round pick. But Dorian Finley-Smith, great defender, can hit an open shot. He's not going to have to be the number 1 option. I mean, he's not in Brooklyn. They got Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas, and a couple players. But I think he'll slot in really well on this veteran team with the Sacramento Kings. And ultimately, I think this will allow the Kings to maybe compete with the Timberwolves and the Thunder and the Clippers out west as far as you're going to need the wing defenders to compete with those teams when you're facing Kawhi, Kevin Durant. When the Suns get there, Kevin Durant, Book, and Beal, LeBron, if they happen to make it, and then Anthony Edwards and Shea. You're going to need multiple defenders to throw at those guys. And the Nuggets, I'm not going to disrespect them. The reigning champions who look really good. If, even if the Kings somehow make it to the finals somehow, which would be crazy. They make it to the finals, I expect they're going to have to compete with the likes of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So you're gonna need defenders on them wings to deal with the super elite scores they have in the NBA. But without further ado, this is a great episode. A lot of interesting trades. It'd be crazy if they actually steal some of these trades and they come to light. But you got to get knowledge wherever you can get it. So yeah, man. I hope y'all doing well. This is a good show. We're gonna close it out. Anything y'all want to say?
No, we all good, man.
We good for right
Been
now.
a good day, good show. Rocking it out, man.
All right.
More to come. More to come.
Oh, facts.
Y'all be peaceful.